What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Astro XC, and your boy went undefeated with Phantom Knights at the Back to Duel event at my locals. It was 4 rounds of Swiss to top 4. Like I said, I went 4-0 in Swiss. In Swiss, I only went to one game 3, and that was round 3. Everybody else I 2-0'd. And in the top cut, the finals, I was the only one I went to game 3. So the deck performed really well. It was a good call for me because I felt confident playing this deck. So we won this beautiful map and 20 OTS packs in the field center. But first, before we get in that, let's do some shout outs. Let's shout out the guy who gave me the list, Bo Smith. So shout out to him. There's only one change I made to the list. Everything else seemed perfect in his explanation of why he plays certain cards. Ed Hawkins, because he helped me build my side deck. 45 main deck. Let's get into the deck profile. So for Phantom Knights, we played 3. It's pretty basic, except for, like, I guess this was 2. Play the 1, because it's just really generic. It's just really basic, nothing different from that. But the one card difference from my list to Bo's list was this one. This is the Stained Greaves. If you don't know what it does, it's if a Phantom Knight monster is special summoned, you special summon it from your hand, and if it's in a grave, its grave effect is banish it and special summon one from your hand, which clogged names like the rest of these except for this guy. So if you can send this to the grave, like, you can just have more extenders. So that came up a few times, so I'm just glad I ended up deciding playing this. But other than that, everything else is generic because you usually play 3, 3, 2, 1. But he didn't play this. I don't know why he's reasoning why he didn't play this, but that was really good. The good lineup for the Phantom Knights. For the BA engine, just this is different. He played this too, but I don't know why people don't play this. It helps, bring these guys out from your hand, and then it becomes whatever you bring out from your hand becomes an extender, a level 3 extender. So that was pretty neat. nothing too crazy with the BA engine. Now for the extenders, which is different. Usually people just play 1 and 1, but Bo's list was 3 and 3, and I cut off the third one for the Greaves. That's the only 1 card difference in his list and my list. So just this could have been the tracker, but I took it out just for this because I was just like, this becomes, when I was testing it, I was just like, this card could come up times, and I didn't want to play in a tournament and just like, dang, I wish I played this. So I cut that off. But his reasoning why 3 and 3 was because going second, you're playing in a format where Appaloosa is always on field. Not always, but usually you would see Appaloosa on the field. So any other of the extenders would activate. So they would just, you would have to play through a negation, and then he said playing this, it doesn't activate, you just summon it. Granted, the other extenders can chain block, but I'd rather, after like testing it for a while, it was actually, it did well. I'm not gonna complain, especially if if they just negate this, you still have this to go off with. Granted, like, the only one I would play would be the Kagamucha, but like I said, if it gets negated, it's kind of hard to play after that. Hand traps. The only hand trap we did play, he put on his list was this. He said these are the only like real blowout cards, especially in a format where Drytron and Dragon Link is starting to pick up. So there was a few Dragon Link players at my local, so this was definitely a good call. I didn't really resolve it at all like I wanted to, but I'm glad I played this. And then shout out to Fred for making sure I had this today. So shout out to that boy. And then you have to play it. And for spells, 3 tactics, 3 dark rulers, MVP card. Not really. Oh, no, man, every spell card in here was just really great today. 2 E-Tellies. Let me just finish this lineup, and then this Rhoda you have to play, the Red Eye Fusion you have to play, Carbide is crazy, And 4, different cards that I feel like it's not, as far as my knowledge, is different from Phantom Knight's list was the main deck Raigeki, main deck Feather Duster, and Ready Fusion and Instant Fusion. I'll show you the targets for this in a minute. This was just great. There was a chance, where I could activate it and, I'll go off, but I just had better cards to go off and use. Like I had this and this at one time. If I didn't have this, I had this to go off, but I just had this. So this was just a blowout. This is blowout card. This was blowout card. And this was just great. I didn't really resolve and use this a lot today, but at the one time at the finals, actually, I think I resolved this. So I used it, and it was just so great. No hand traps because, we don't want to, make our opponents, tactics live, or just make their cross-outs live too. So just playing other cards, like blowout cards like these, and then just playing this was blowout too. So I'm glad I had this in the last trap cards, Boom. Io didn't really, wasn't too bad to main deck because I always pop it with Break Sword, so I never really got to resolve this card anyway. So I mean, it's there. Nothing's different. Extra deck, we play the Break Sword, the 2 Leviers. I'll explain why, because we play these 2. This was great today. There was times, this was going to be swapped out for the Rebellion package, but I didn't find the Dark Rebellion XC Dragon, so I just kept this in, and I'm glad I did because it won me my round 1. He summoned Alistair. I had this on field. I knew what he played, so that was an advantage on me. So I know he's going to normal summon Alistair. So I took it. So I guess I kind of ended his play because he couldn't really go off after that. Then we play into the Zeus. For the Link Spider, I think I played this one time. I didn't really need to make it, but I made it anyways. Predator Plan, you have to play it. This was the only other Link 3 that we played with this. It's pretty generic. And then Appaloosa, generic, and Access Code, pretty generic. Shout out to Thomas Platt for trading this to me literally last minute before round was up. First round 1 parents. The fusions, Dragoon, and for instant and ready fusion target is boom. Side deck. I don't remember both side decks, so I just made mine completely on my own that day of. Let's see. Pranker Tops for our monster. Lightning Storm for the blowout cards. Strikes for going first. Solemn for going first as well. Anti-spell for going first. And going second, blowout cards. So yeah, that was the tournament. I went 6-0 undefeated. Won all this cool stuff. And yeah, like I said, shout out to Bo Smith. Shout out to Ed for helping on my side deck. Shout out to Victor for pushing that tournament on a Sunday. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Until the next time, peace.